keep it chill, hold tight. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right. Sipping on sangria, playing that snow Allegra. Hoping moments like this go on forever. Catch me lounging pajamas in a sweater, especially when weather's looking sloppy. I turn into a homebody, cause it's the weekend. I don't feel like partying, I feel like sleeping. I don't work tomorrow, think I might just sleep until about noonish. I've been working hard, think I deserve to do this like once in a while. Cause this isn't my usual style. My mind is moving past the limit every minute to mile. I appreciate the time when I can sit on the couch, turn the music up and just zone out, cause it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
I might turn my phone off when I get in this mood. Only turn it back on when I'm ordering food. And when my pizza gets delivered, going back to disconnected. If you call me and I answer, I'll hang up and blame reception. Got a question or a message, I encourage you to text it. I'll see it when I see it, I'll hit you back soon. For now I stay in tune with this lazy afternoon. Like the roots in 94, asking do you want more? Yeah, I want less of the drama and stress and interactions with people seeking my patience to test. You ain't cutting me a check, so I ain't giving you time to sacrifice my peace of mind. Cause it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
This song plays and it's like Wally like charging his battery.
This is, it's not just
the
me.
Image I have in my head.
It's you. It's all of us. There is nobody more dedicated. Nobody stronger. Nobody more resilient than you. All of you. Tyrus Brooks. Monica Vasquez, Jeanette Sturgis, Bizzle Tizzle, Patrick, Mark, who else? Haley, my man, Devin, Dora, Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Come on.
All the chipmunks.
All the chipmunks. No, that was a good one. Y'all like that, though. Because I know, if you know what we're talking about, y'all know that.
And the chipettes.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora.
Good morning, Aurora.
The time is now 8 o'clock in the morning. You are tuned in to listening and watching Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Upward up.
Nobody remembers the chipettes. They're like, I got like a grandma named that or something. That's it. Like, there's no. Yeah. Shout out to all y'all with old lady names. Like, it's a thing. We got a rep.
Jeanette's not that old of a lady name.
It's not.
It's not as bad as Margaret.
Yeah, it's not.
Shout out to all of our listeners named Margaret, though.
The Maggies of the world. Yeah, it's definitely not like a Dorcas, right? Like, but it's not a. It did not exactly like have a pop, right? It's not like.
What's the oldest old lady
Jessica.
name you can think of?
The oldest old lady name I can think of? Oh, God. Well,
Gertrude.
Gertie. Yeah, oh yeah. Gertie. Gertie's up there.
Shout out to Gertrude. All right, so this is the last Good Morning Aurora episode and the last Jenettesplaining episode of the year. Today is a important day. We are stopping one thing and we're moving into something else completely new at midnight.
So take a deep breath.
Word up. But we got news for you.
We're going to inhale.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to let it all go.
Yeah.
Just whatever the crap show of suctitude that this year may or may not have been for you. I mean, probably it wasn't all bad, right? It wasn't all bad. There's probably good stuff, but whatever is just we're going to let it go.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Monica over here sneezing.
She's just letting go of the
negative.
Of the negative of the 2021.
Sneeze it out.
That's right.
All right. So before we get started, there it is.
We got some things. There's so much news. There's just a pile of news.
Want to give a shout out to read this great article. Want to give a shout out to 10th Ward Alderwoman Shweta Bade. There's a great article about her out in the Beacon. After making history as the first Indian American elected to the Aurora City Council, her work is about the desire to, quote, get involved. She's done a lot representing the 10th Ward, along with her role as an example to Aurora's growing Indian American population, making her one of the Beacon's faces of 2021 in the Aurora area. She's doing great stuff, and there's a metric here. That's right. With the perhaps more important, she's become a role model and example for the burgeoning Indian American population. With the Indian American population at between 7 and 8% of the city, it is the fastest growing ethnic group in Aurora, according to information from the Indian American Community Outreach Advisory Board. That's a mouthful.
IACWAB.
That would be the IACWAB.
The IACWAB.
The IACWAB.
Yeah.
The IACWAB.
Ugh.
Y'all like that?
Y'all
like that?
You gotta love government and the acronyms.
Because it's gotta fall off the tongue. That's the whole point. It's gotta sound juicy.
Yeah.
So you can be like, yeah, we're gonna do sit rep. Ooh, sit rep. You like, what's that? Situation report.
Yes.
You didn't even know that.
No, I did.
You didn't. And so
I
I said it right now.
I did. No, I also.
No, sit rep. It's common as hell.
I also knew that snafu is not a thing that you can say. That you can spell out loud on the radio. I mean, you can't hear it because you're
situation normal, all effed up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't.
All right.
You're not supposed to write it in a news article.
That's an acronym that became prominent during the Korean War, actually. A lot of people attribute it to Vietnam. It was the Korean War. The time is now 8:04 a.m. All right, so the first thing we have to talk about are... what's the first thing I talk about?
I don't know. We got all kinds of things to talk about. You want to tell you? Let's get the... It's...
Oh no! The first thing we had was the dispensary.
Let's do the cases first. Let's get the bad stuff out.
No,
and then we're gonna.
Let's do.
You want to do pot first?
Yeah. Okay, let's do that first.
I mean, it's
going
not
in the order that we.
All right, order like we planned this.
Order in the court.
No. I'm.
You can't handle the truth.
So I'm driving back from the city last night on 88, God help me, and I'm like, what are the spotlights doing out on, like, Farnsworth? And, like, it was...
Popo.
Yeah, I have not seen, like spotlights since I think Blockbuster was still trying to make it as a company.
Yeah, they used to have spotlights.
Right?
A little over the top for VHS cassettes, but
yeah, right, for, like, renting Donkey Kong for SNES. Our intern's looking at me like I'm so vintage. So we have a dispensary now out there at 88 and Farnsworth. Basically, it's like where there used to be a day labor sort of place out there by the outlet mall. Now it's a dispensary, which is great. So that's it. That's the story. I mean, we can go into more details, but all you need to know is, like, if you had plans for this evening and they got all messed up on you and you're just going to stay home and, you know, get drunk and bake, like, now you have options.
Word up.
So you can buy
Saxon,
local.
Deb Sturgis, Cheryl Brownell. Good morning to all you great people. It's called New Era. 1415 Corporate Boulevard off Farnsworth Avenue, next door to the outlet mall. It's 420 feet from the Farnsworth Exchange with Interstate 88.
Yeah, no, it's basically like you could just pull it right off. You can get your snacks and you can pull right back on if you need to. It's a very, very convenient little spot, or you can go shopping.
It's a third adult use only facility for this company, which also operates such dispensaries in Champaign and Pekin. It runs medical marijuana facilities in Chicago, Urbana, and East Peoria. Here's what's interesting about the story. Check this out. Listen. The license for the Aurora facility is actually a secondary license, known as a +1, to the Chicago medical marijuana facility. Using the secondary license allowed New Era to get open quicker. I like that.
Yeah, basically the way that
How about that?
Yeah, the way it worked with the dispensaries.
There's all kind of ways to get open.
Well, yeah. So if you because the state of Illinois was supposedly trying really hard to make it to get these things open as fast as possible because tax revenue, but also to make it equitable so that people who have historically been shut out of business ownership and or have been really damaged by the war on drugs, i.e. mostly the communities of color, right? They created like a scoring rubric to allow to decide who was going to get these licenses first. And
is this a company that's made of people of color?
No, but one of the other ways that you could get bumped to the top of the line for a license was if you already had a medical facility open.
I see.
So I don't know if this is one of those social equity ones. I think it would say if it were, but.
Now y'all see that? Y'all heard that? You heard that.
Yeah.
The time is now 8:08 a.m. Okay, moving right along.
Oh, hey,
next.
Wait, one more thing, because it's the beginning of 2022. They're offering 22% off all products for all new customers on Friday.
That's great.
So there you go. Great. I'm telling you,
nice.
You got no plans tonight.
All right. Senior housing development. I saw that Oswego is doing, the Oswego Village Board recently approved a concept plan for 48 unit single joints.
They did. So they're getting a senior housing development. It's actually technically in an unincorporated area of Kendall County near Oswego, but Oswego is just going to keep growing and growing and growing until it's a behemoth that can fit about 100,000 people. So, which is crazy. This is next to Oswego, and they're probably going to annex it. Basically, what they proved was just the concept plan, not the actual development itself. But it's a facility that's going to be for people age 55 and older, near Wolf's Crossing Road and Douglas Road. And they're kind of moving the way that intersection works or whatever.
Norma Peterson, good morning.
My only thing with this is that it's so the company needed approval of the basic plan from the local board, from the Oswego Village Board, in order to then go and get some incentives from the Illinois Housing Development Authority, because it's senior housing or whatever, and it's supposed to be designed for seniors that are on a fixed income, but I
have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call Jay. My bad.
Yeah, those guys. Now 55 is one thing, right? Because 55-year-olds are still driving, right? My mom's still driving. God help us all. Hi, Mom. But like when you start talking older folks, this is like in an area that doesn't have a lot of things to access on foot in terms of like groceries and stuff like that. Like, because you can go up to like Douglas and Route 34, right, to all the strip malls and stuff up there, but that's all still pretty hard to navigate on foot, and you have to walk it all back, right? There's no buses down in Kendall County. The only real transit that they have in the area is the dial-a-ride service, where like you can call and they'll bring the tiny little bus, and it's like $3 a ride. Which they also have here, by the way. If anyone didn't know, you can dial a ride in this area. So maybe, hopefully, the more of these developments that they keep bringing into Oswego, because this is not the only like age-restricted development that they're looking at down there. Maybe it's a good reason for them to join the Regional Transit Authority and get some like PACE buses and other mass transit, because once you get down to Kendall County, there is just nothing.
All right. The name of the company is called Boom Shakalaka Services.
What?
Is this for real? No, I'm just playing.
No.
North Point Development
There we go.
2 Corporation of Wisconsin. Now, this is what's funny. Oswego trustees Tom, how do you pronounce that? Geist, Kit, Kurt, James Martyr, Terry Olson, and Jennifer Jones Sinat. That sounds like a listener. But we should be there. Jennifer Jones Sinat, good morning. Supported the concept plan during a recent village board meeting. Trustee Brian Thomas was not present. The concept plan was approved, subject to review by the Planning and Zoning Commission's staff, as well as the village board approval of the development application when it is submitted. The developer presented the concept under a, quote, accelerated pace, end quote, to gauge the village board support prior to an application deadline through the Illinois Housing Development Authority, IDA. I like that. The concept plans for 8 buildings. The units would be single-story townhomes with 6 units per building, 844 square feet for a 1-bedroom unit, and 977 square feet for a 2-bedroom unit, each with attached garages. The site would include a common clubhouse, patio, and garden. Ooh.
It could garden.
That just sounds jiggy, right? I like it.
Yeah, so again, totally fine. Older residents definitely need, places to live, right? Just really wish these kinds of developments would be built with some sort of consideration for public transit. That's all.
But
that's my job.
That's the city's job, not North Point, right?
Well, that's everybody's job, right? Like, that's up to...
Is it North Point's job?
No, but it's up to... if you're planning a development and you want it to be successful, right?
Sure. Not on the side of people trying to make money and make sure the seniors can't get nowhere.
Sure. And again, 55 and older might be age restricted, but is not necessarily folks who have stopped driving yet.
Right.
Lots of people don't lose their licenses until they're up in their 90s, right?
Right.
But
95, you know what?
It's still going. Some people
about that time, y'all. I'm gonna call it quits.
And some people are super capable of being able to do all of that. Driving is the most complex thing that your brain does. That's why if you drive for a really long time, you go on a road trip and 8 hours later you're exhausted and all you've done is sit in the car and drive all day. It's because your brain is processing so many different actions and trying to anticipate what other people are doing and moving at such a fast speed and all of this all at once. It's a complicated process happening in your brain. So I get that. But the bigger problem with development in general, when you're talking about sprawling suburbs like Oswego, like the edges of Aurora, right, that we have, and we've talked about this before with other developments going in, is they are developments that are almost purposefully designed to not have a lot of access to public transit, which makes them all very car dependent, and those are the most expensive sorts of places that a community can really build. Because if you're talking about these big lots, right, that you put single family homes on, to build all the infrastructure under those streets, to get pipes, to build streets, to build pipes that do sewer and water and all of that, from one house to another, you have to spend a lot more to lay all that street and lay all that pipe per taxpayer, right? And it makes it just very expensive, as opposed to when you have really high density communities, like a downtown, where you've got to bring the pipes and the streets to the apartment building or to the condo building, but then you've got 20 taxpayers living in there to kind of split the cost of it. It becomes a lot cheaper for communities.
All right. Alyssa Ocone, good morning. Happy New Year's Eve to all. That is right. Good morning, Anna Sierra. Happy Friday and Happy New Year's Eve. Much appreciated. The time is now 8:16 a.m. and you are listening to and watching the very last Jenettesplaining on the very last Good Morning Aurora episode for this year
of 2021.
Of 2021.
Which we're all thank you.
Now, Monica.
Thank you, live audience.
Monica, if you would be so kind, please take us to a commercial and hit us.
Y'all. All right, good morning. Here are our local headlines. Real news, real people, real stories, 100% Aurora. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. January 29th from 12:30 p.m. January 29th from 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Prisco Center will be a great pop-up event for businesses. Passion Lily Boutique Events will be hosting this event, and it is open to the public. CBD items, plus-size clothing, plant-based hair care, and more will be on display and for sale. Come have fun in the new year and support local creators. For more information, you can email events@passionlily.boutique. Saturday, January 15th, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., there will be a reading and craft event at Simply Destiny Youth Center. Friend of the show, Victoria Jaila Maldonado, will be reading her book, Bartled by the Brave. Come experience a great story about showing bravery and kindness in the face of bullying. Simply Destiny is located at 122 West Downer Place and Suite 124. Ninja Science Academy Leadership Training Program will be taking place on Saturday, January 1st from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. This will take place at 1781 Melbourne Lane in Aurora. This is an opportunity to come together for a full day of training on martial arts, science, and yoga. The event has been shared to our Facebook page. Families can start their New Year's Eve activities early with a celebration from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Friday, December 31st, today, at the Fox Valley Park District's Vaughn Athletic Center, 2121 West Indian Trail Road in Aurora. The annual family party will ring in 2022 with a variety of festivities. A traditional New Year's countdown featuring a balloon drop at noon will return. Kids and adults can get energetic while climbing and bouncing on giant inflatables, playing games, making crafts, and experiencing interactive entertainment. Guests are encouraged to pre-register by yesterday to guarantee admission, party favors, activities, and snacks. Advanced tickets are $11 per person and $14 at the door. Children under 2 are free. The event often sells out. Party favors and snacks are not guaranteed for those who register on event day today. For more information, call the Vaughn Center at 630-907-9600.
Now, here's the thing. Yeah, now scratch that up real quick because I wanted to.
I just really want to appreciate the fact that the whole point of this event is very clearly to wear the kids out so that they pass out before midnight and you get to stay up partying. I just let's be clear. That is the point of this event.
Right. Get all their little energy out their body.
We
8
got bouncy
o'clock,
houses.
Boom, you
That's
out of there.
Right.
Also, though, children under 2 are free. Damn, they charging for 3-year-olds. I always thought that was kind of right?
I don't know. Not having children, I don't know who gets charged for what.
But still, though, that if you go to a restaurant, kids under a certain age eat free. You know what I'm saying?
They do. That's true.
That's I thought that was the American.
I just don't know what.
Isn't that in the Constitution and all that?
I don't know what any of those places are because I don't usually bring kids to restaurants.
Oh, the time is now 8:20. Now, here's the thing. Before we get back to our regularly scheduled
some
program,
news. Oh boy, here we go.
Here it is. Okay.
What do we got?
I have something that qualifies as move over CNN. Oprah.
Breaking news.
Cheryl Brownell says, my 83-year-old mother just built into a 55 and up community. There is no way that she could walk to any services. She has to drive or have things delivered. That's right, Cheryl.
It's
Thank
crazy,
you.
and it's so isolating.
But hold on, that wasn't the breaking news. Let me just finish that. We can get back to that.
All right.
Okay. Run it back. That's right. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
You guys,
that was my fault though.
We're crawling to the end of 2021 today.
Why did I
crawling
go
to the end?
Cheryl Brownell? All right. The application process is now open for $4 million in funding through the Federal American Rescue Plan to assist mental health organizations, homeless shelters, and food pantries in Kane County, which have been adversely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. To be eligible for a grant, applicants must be fully incorporated and operating as a 501c3 as of January 1st, 2019. Deliver services from a facility that is physically located in Kane County. Provide as its primary mission services to Kane County residents in the areas of behavioral and mental health, homeless shelters or food pantries, and be in good standing with all applicable federal, state, and local standards and requirements. The link to start an application can be found online at the following website. And if you'd be so kind, Monica, as to hit them.
She's going to post it.
At www.countyofkane.org. That website again is www.countyofkane.org. The portal will be open to applicants until January 31st of next year. Applications will be reviewed for eligibility and completeness and then considered by the American Rescue Plan Committee, which will then recommend funding awards to the full Kane County Board for consideration and approval according to the release. Word. Okay.
What else we got?
Now, here's something else that we got.
What am I gonna do?
Advocate Aurora Health, did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah, where they basically mailed a bunch of private information to people, but then it actually didn't, get to people. Yeah, that was not ideal.
Yeah.
So, but this is, so we talked about this on the show a little bit yesterday, right? So, but basically it was a sort of a data breach, but the old school kind where it just gets lost in the mail,
Right.
Where you're not really supposed to send a lot of sensitive health information by the mail anyway, if you can avoid it. And they said that it was a system that got triggered, right? That just kind of accidentally, an accidental change to an account type in the health systems billing software or whatever. Doesn't really matter. All you need to know is that if you belong to Advocate Aurora Health, check your mail, because they're going to offer you free credit monitoring for 6 months or whatever. Now, at this point, there have been so many breaches on all of our information, right? Like my DuPage Medical Group, you'll recall back in the summer, was none of the phones worked for a week while they were getting hacked and all of our information got stolen. And they were like, here, have free credit monitoring. And you're like, I don't know if that really fixes things for me, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah, we did something that's probably going to affect your credit. Here's 6 months of free credit monitoring.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't, and it won't necessarily affect your credit unless someone takes all your account information and somehow uses it and cross-references it against some other hack where they got some other information and figures out your data enough to be able to open accounts in your name, which is still tricky to do, right? But you're probably not going to see stuff. You should watch your credit report anyway. But here's the thing, most people have free credit monitoring at this point. If you have a Discover card, you have free credit monitoring. Lots of people, lots of financial institutions, you can go on Credit Karma and just look it up.
If you have a credit card, if you have Discover, you can put in the chat The digits on the front.
And then the ones on the 3 on the back.
Right.
And your expiration.
And your expiration date, the time.
Billing zip code.
Is now 8/25.
The 06, 05, whichever.
Right. You know. We ain't going to do too much with it. We ain't going to do it. Like, damn, good morning, Aurora, broadcasting in Aruba. Like, yeah, how y'all looking? How y'all doing? Jeanette, where the mic at? Mine, can scratch that up for him. Yeah, do that.
Bring me another drink.
Right. Gunther. Yeah, over here.
Ben posted CBB. I need to flip it over. Just take a picture.
Ben,
of the
what
front
up?
of the
Ben
card.
Tennant, good morning,
just
baby.
Send the picture of the front of the card.
Okay, tell us about Brownfield. Let's talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah. So Mother's maiden name, too, just in case. Yes, thank you, BTP. You're correct.
Bizzle Tizzle.
Bizzle Tizzle in the chat. So, yeah, the city of Aurora's had this agreement going with the owner of this property. It's about 5 acres. It's next to the Fox River and the Indian Trail Bridge. So it's basically, there's like this little strip of land, like, you know where the Walgreens is at Indian Trail and 31 there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So between the Walgreens and the river, like, it slopes way down, and then there's this empty vacant lot that it's all gravel now, but it used to be a pallet company. And pallet companies are usually pretty toxic. They like soak the pallets in things so they don't rot. Like, it's just kind of like a hot mess. So there's buildings on there that had asbestos, like all of that. So apparently we've remediated that, and they've been trying to find a buyer for this property to put in some residential housing. But it has not taken. So the council, no one has actually decided that they wanted to buy this thing yet. So the council approved a deal with the owner where they're going to give him another 3 years, and this, both the city and the owner of the property are theoretically trying to find a buyer or developer to do something with this land and put some multifamily apartments, some condos or something that would be right down. It's a very pretty little stretch of river over there.
A river runs through it?
No, the river runs next to it.
You ever seen that movie?
No. I got that it was a reference, but it was funnier to pretend like I didn't know that it was a reference.
That's a good movie.
That is a good movie. Mm-hmm. A river runs through it. It's like one of the great American movies. The time is, what time is it? 8:31.
8:28 a.m.
8:27.
Something. 8:27. We don't know what time it is.
All right, but I like that actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
isn't it? Multi-use residential.
So there's this big challenge basically that we have up and down the Fox River, which is basically we're trying to take a thing that originally we assumed, why would anybody want to put anything nice near a river? We just dump our toxic garbage in it. And so everything that we had built along the river for, 100 years was gross factories that were hot toxic messes. Or, the slaughterhouse that's up there in North Aurora, that smells real great, there's, and also is the death of many, many, many poor cows. So there's this beautiful river, which is wouldn't it be great if people got to enjoy the river and had housing and parks and kayaking and all of these things, and yet because of the legacy of us just basically dumping toxic trash in it for so long, and along the banks, redeveloping these old brownfields is challenging because it's not just vacant land. It is vacant land now, but it's you have to clean all that stuff up, so that comes with costs. So it's kind of developers aren't going to want to do it when they can just find another piece of land that's that doesn't need to be cleaned up, which means that it ends up on the taxpayers if we want to clean it up and get the thing sold again, or trying to put some kind of lien on the property from the people who used to own it, and half the time you don't know who they are anymore, that sort of thing. So it's unfortunate, and I hope they find someone who wants to do something really interesting with this and all the other pieces of land, because there's basically there's all kinds of opportunity where you could do really cool things along the river, but for so long it's just been neglected that it's it's just an old factory falling apart. Why would we want to do anything with that?
Okay. Definitely we infrastructure. So before we get into 50 new Illinois laws that are going into effect in 2022, I want to bring
I'm
up,
looking forward to this conversation. This will be entertaining.
there was a COVID-19 outbreak recently at the Kane County Jail.
And everywhere else, basically, in the county.
There's been a spike in COVID-19 cases among detainees. Sheriff Haynes said officials are trying to mitigate any further spread of the virus at the facility. Quote, around 8% of the population of the jail is consistent with the percent of community population that is testing positive. We have already been through this a few times, so we are pretty confident we can mitigate this out of the facility in the next week or two, close quote. Cases started to rise around December 12th. Corrections officers are following the standard protocol of using both rapid and PCR tests and then placing detainees in a medical unit with a negative pressure room. All the jail's programs are suspended for the next 2 weeks, except for the Recovery Pod program through Lighthouse Recovery of St. Charles, which provides addiction treatment. Detainees are not being taken to court unless absolutely necessary for a trial or sentencing, and instead are connecting to court officials through Zoom. Lake County's jail recently saw a COVID-19 spike in late November that led to more than 100 cases among inmates and staff, but the cases are now subsiding. Yikes, to be locked up suffering from COVID.
Yeah, and like, because really the big issue, right, is it's just a conjugate care facility.
A what?
Yeah, like a group care facility. Like you've got a bunch of people in a small space. No one's got privacy. Like you're not, you're not in a cell by yourself. So like no matter what, if once it's in there, it's like if you're testing people and you're finding them positive, then it's already spreading to someone else because they've been breathing somebody else's air for, like if you've ever been in King County, it's.
I have not.
I mean, I've been in like the holding cell area. Long story. And like it's just like a big room where there's just like a bunch of people and it's like open air. There's moving back and forth between people.
Yeah. Huh?
So making calls.
You know what?
Can't prove nothing.
Do I need security?
Security.
You can't prove nothing. No, but like so.
Okay. Right. Because is there a
brother.
warrant out? Okay. Well, y'all let me know. Okay. Y'all let me know.
Oh, good gravy. So no, that's but these cells, they're like open air and moving, and so there's nothing that's like keeping anyone from getting, like, even if the staff are doing their best and you're trying to keep 6 feet away from people, it's just going to be a hot mess whenever you're in any kind of facility like that.
The time is now 8:33 a.m. and you are listening to and watching Jenettesplaining on Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. It is New Year's Eve. We appreciate you guys tuning in. The news will go on. Now, I have
What have we got?
I have a lot of things, actually.
Okay.
But one of the things that we're going to talk about are some of the new laws. We're not going to do all 50.
We're not going to do all 50.
But we're going to talk about some of the new laws that are coming into effect next year in 2022. And we want you at home to pay close attention to the tenor and candor of these laws that are coming into effect. And think about the things that you are listening to. All right. You take the first two, I'll do the next two.
Are we doing of my list? You want to do my list? Do you want to do your list?
We got the same list.
I took the ones that I thought that were the most interesting. I put them in my list. My list is
I got this straight from the federal government.
My list is more
okay. JB, good look, baby.
Mine is curated. It's a curated list. So probably the most controversial one of this year locally is going to be the repeal of parental notification of abortion, which goes into effect this summer. So currently in Illinois, if you are a minor trying to get an abortion, you don't need permission from your parents, but you do have to notify them. So I don't really know what the difference is, because if your parents got to sign something, they got to sign something or whatever. But starting this summer, that will no longer be the case. So
Cindy Morales, good morning.
So, which is really like a kind of an interesting. The argument on the other side has always been like, well, if I'm a parent, I should really know if there's something awful like this happening in my kid's life. And it's like, well, yeah, but I feel like if your kid's not telling you about that, like you got other issues, and they got to deal with this thing first.
Shayla Day, good morning.
There's also a lot of laws going into effect, or not. It's a cleanup of the code. So we're not going to use the word Negro anymore in our laws, which probably makes sense because it's 2022. And so they're changing. They basically, some poor intern had the job of probably going through the entire Illinois municipal code and like highlighting every time that we put like a racist word for somebody in there, and they're going to change it to like Black or African American.
When did that happen?
That's starting in 2021. They're going to clean up all the code.
HB 03217.
Probably, sure.
Where's the case where that came up? Where's the
here's
the incident?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is a lot of times it's not like a specific case or something. It's so like here's how this goes. Like you imagine that is so what
Lily Smith, good morning.
A related thing that's been going on recently is folks finding out that their neighborhoods have race-based covenants on them. Mm-hmm. So like you go through you're like looking at your mortgage for something because you're going to refinance or something like that, and you pull all the paperwork and you're looking through all the paperwork for whatever you need, and then you stumble upon the covenants from like 1940 something that say that no Black people are allowed to live in your neighborhood, mm-hmm. which is funny because it's like Black people that find it and they're like, oh, look at that, I'm not allowed to live in my house. So that requires then going through all of this rigmarole in the case, like homeowners associations are trying to get rid of those, but it's actually like a ton of legal work to mm-hmm. dissolve your covenants, even though they're completely racist and illegal. So it's kind of one of those. It's not like there was an incident so much as there are like minutia where people are like going through looking at other things.
Just legal minutia.
Yeah, and they'll be like looking for another law or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, why does this say Negro in here? That's not cool." Right. So yeah.
Thought this was a grocery store.
So they're gonna go through. They're gonna clean up the whole state statutes and remove all of those references that they can find.
That is HB 03217, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably good.
All right. So here's a couple others real quick.
What else we got?
HB 00122 ends early termination fees for customers of telephone, cell phone, television, internet, energy, medical alert system, or water services who die before the end of their contracts.
So if you die, you don't.
You know what? Hold on. Listen. I don't think you are paying attention at home. Let's read that one more time. Oh, hold on a second. Josie Mendoza, thank you very much, Josie. This is a new tie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Ben, you funny. Yeah. Who say anything about those aren't on the menu? All right. HB, listen to this again. HB 00122 ends early termination fees for customers of telephone, cell phone, television, internet, energy, medical alert system, or water services who die before the end of their contract.
So if you die...
I thought this was with the land of the free and the home of the... What's this?
If you die, you don't have to pay AT&T an early termination fee on your phone contract. So, like, previously, they could go after your estate or whatever, I guess, for
$187.27. That's crazy. Petty.
Sell
Here's
the house.
another one. Here's another one.
You got to sell Grandma's house. She had the cell phone. She didn't pay it off.
Here's another one. This one will make you. You thought that was good. Listen to this one. Changes in the drug law. HB 03445. A person who seeks medical assistance for an opioid mm-hmm. overdose will have immunity from prosecution for possession. So let's say that one more time. Let's do that slow. Let's take that. A person who seeks medical assistance for an opioid overdose. So you're about to die, you're
Or-
calling the hospital,
or your
we'll
friend
have,
is,
we'll have
right?
immunity from prosecution for possession.
Yeah, so basically it's if you're seeing your friend ODing on heroin and you have heroin on you or have recently done it yourself, you can still call 911, the ambulance will call, blah, 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 and they will not charge you for possession.
I thought this this isn't from China? Where's this from?
No. We've been
This
doing
is
that.
America? No,
Yeah.
this is,
Well,
I
and
refuse
so-
to believe.
Well, and so that it's a problem, right? Because
Damn, I need that back.
you do need that back. It's been a problem because people will be afraid to call for emergency services because they might be carrying or they just they're also high on heroin or whatever, and so then they don't call and their friend dies, right? And then it turns into a murder case, right, or a manslaughter case because you didn't call when your friend was dying, right? So,
Involuntary.
or you get people getting dumped on the front of at an ER and then they're driving off or whatever. So
all right.
So this is a good one. So
The time is 8:41 a.m.
Yeah.
All right, you take two and I'll take two more.
all right, what do we got? Okay.
Cindy Morales, did I say good morning and happy new year to you too? I think I did.
Oh, Snap! You can buy tampons with your Snap card or with your Link card. So starting this year, your Snap benefits and your WIC benefits, probably not the check, but if you have the card, right? You can use them to buy
feminine hygiene products. Shout out to State Representative Barbara Hernandez and everybody else who was involved in that. Can we hit the clap button?
Right.
Yes, let's
hit the clap.
Let's do that. All right, give us another one of this USSR list of things that I never would have believed. Okay, you give us another one. I got two.
Okay, we're gonna screen people for pancreatic cancer if you have Medicaid. That's cool.
That is cool.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
Here's another one.
Oh, wait. I want one more under the healthcare stuff.
Okay.
So SB 00500 prevents hospitals, physicians, surgeons, or medical groups from discriminating against individuals solely on the basis of having a mental or physical disability by deeming that person ineligible to receive an anatomical gift or organ transplant. So it basically...
I thought this was some patriot... What?
Yeah, so basically if you have a mental illness or disability or physical disability and you need a liver, this law prevents the doctor or hospital from denying you a liver based on being mentally or physically handicapped.
I thought that this was what they do in Iran and all that.
Turns out...
I thought this the land of the free and the home of the brave. We can't be... This was really going on?
Yeah, it turns out people have the right to get a liver or lungs or whatever, even if they have disabilities. Who knew?
All right, let's do some more. I'm going to do two, then we're going to move off to these.
Right, because let's bear in mind, right, that all of these laws are getting written because at some point somebody ran into a problem with it and said that there needs to be a law.
HB 00564 requires schools to include contributions by Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, and any other collective community of faith that helped shape America in history curriculums. I thought this is
a similar
Hold on,
one.
let's do this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because this one, you know what?
Okay.
Whew. HB 02790 allows public defenders in a county with more than 3 million inhabitants
So, Cook County.
to provide legal representation for non-citizens in immigration cases.
Yeah. So previously, if you were not, if you were not a citizen in the country, right? Like if you're here and you're undocumented, you wouldn't get representation.
But when they arrest you, they tell you you got the right to remain silent, you got the right to it.
Yeah. You got the right to an attorney. We're just not going to pay for it because you don't have papers. That was That was the problem before. So yeah, the on the topic of groups getting represented in the curriculum too, another law now requires that elementary and high schools have a unit of instruction on the contributions of Asian Americans in Illinois and the U.S. So we're getting a lot more inclusive. The goal is overall to get much more inclusive about like, hey, it wasn't just white people who built America. Turns out everybody kind of had a hand in it, which is kind of nice.
The time is now 8:45 a.m. All right, so here's the thing, you guys. I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. Micah, take me to a commercial, please. I am shy on camera. All right, listen to me. Okay, y'all got jokes. Y'all got jokes. Okay, listen to this, you guys, because it's very, very important for you. I'll pull this up because I want you to hear about what else is going on here. Yes, 2022 is going to be an absolutely great year. Marissa Omoni is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
Marissa.
And she's right. It is going to be an amazing 2020.
All right, here we go.
In downtown Aurora.
Let's do this.
It always is.
L. Ann Mickelson, good morning to you, dear friend. We're glad to see you. The time is 8:46 a.m. All right, excuse me. Just this week, an Aurora City Council committee recently approved final plans for a new entertainment area outside. This is great. Yeah, do that. Move over, CNN. MSNBC, y'all need help? We got you. Okay. Aldermen on the Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee recently approved a final plan for an area on the east side of Fox Valley Mall near New York Street and Route 59. It's next to an 11-acre site where Centennial Real Estate, owners of the mall, are building 3 new apartment buildings near where Sears used to be. Did anybody know that a company called Centennial Real Estate owned the mall? Centennial is proposing landscaping throughout the area. The remainder of the lot will be fenced off until future development occurs. Now, the area just south of these apartments that are being made will include a 1.8-acre temporary outdoor entertainment area to serve the existing mall, as well as the new apartments. The entertainment area would include some compact stone walking paths with a mulched area for food trucks. Ooh.
I love a good mulched area.
Centennial is in the midst of developing 304 apartments and 3 three-story buildings outside the mall. Both that development and the entertainment area next to it are part of a major redevelopment and repurposing of the mall, which has been in Aurora since the mid-1970s. Mall officials have said there will be more entertainment and housing development at the site in the future. The final plan for the entertainment area got approval from the members of the Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee. If anyone appeals the approval, it would go before the full city council. So the next time you're at the mall and you see those structures, just know that you heard about it here. And if anybody moves in over there, send your address.
Invite us over, because I am really curious to know what it's like to live in a mall.
Word up.
Like
can't steal nothing because they're gonna take you right home.
That's right. Where are you gonna go? No, it's kind of a curious thing to me because like it's definitely would not be my vibe. Like I would not be like, yes, I want a condo in the mall. But it's going to appeal to some people, and that's great. And more important, and we need more housing, so that's great. And what we don't need is malls that fall apart, because malls have a life cycle, right? The mall that you went to when you were a kid, you don't go there anymore. So think about like the best example from the Fox Valley I have is the St. Charles Mall that used to have like I think it was off of North Avenue, and it had like a movie theater that had like 3 like screens or something. And that thing fell apart back in like the 80s and early 90s when they put Charlestown Mall in, and then Charlestown Mall fell apart and is a total trip if you like walk through it these days. And the only thing that they've got there is the Von Mar, and there's like a Cooper's Hawk out in the parking lot. And then that fell apart when the Geneva Commons came in, right? So like the thing about malls is they cannibalize each other. When a new one comes in, an old one dies. So it's an interesting turn of events. I think rather than try and fight that or just let it fall apart, to try and put some housing in, I'm curious to see where it goes. Like,
I am curious to know what you people have going on. Let us know in the chat what you guys have going on tonight for New Year's Eve. And Josh, here's what else I want from you, and I want this from you, Jeanette.
Oh, no.
What are your resolutions? Do any of you have any New Year's resolutions? What are they? You can let us know those in the chat, too. The time is 8:47 a.m.
Well, so I love...
I just guessed that.
Damn,
8:50.
8:50.
My bad.
Well, so I love a good New Year's resolution. Do you do resolutions? No, you don't do resolutions. You're just we're just going. You're just rolling.
We just rock it. You know what I'm saying?
So
every moment is a resolution. I'm resolving right now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You see this tie?
I like that.
Y'all see what with the jacket? No, I don't. I make resolutions every day. Typically in the morning, I'm like, you know what? I need to make this day better than yesterday. You need to do a little bit, last night I could have done that a little bit differently. Well, I need to make sure next time that ball gets passed to me, I need to do a little bit better with it.
And I think that's a way healthier approach than the January 1st we're doing this.
Yeah, because my mood changes way too quick.
Yeah,
every 3 minutes to.
And it's a constant recommitment rather than a once and then I failed and then I'm gonna gonna get healthy this year and then I don't go to the gym for a week and then I just never go to the gym again. Right?
Because if you fall off your horse in January, then all that by summer season I'm gonna look good in the bikini. I mean,
as opposed to if I'm constantly recommitting to making myself healthier and better, right? So. No, I don't do resolutions. What I do it's sort of a similar thing. It's a personal strategic plan for my whole year. So if you've ever worked for an organization that has a strategic plan, right? They chart out here are all of our overarching objectives and our mission and existing, and then kind of build out plans from there for each individual goal. So I do that. And the way that I do it is I look at sort of all of the different elements of wellness too, because I think for New Year's...
Bobby Hester, good morning.
For New Year's, the things that people usually resolve on are things like health, like physical health, like I'm going to lose weight, or they resolve for financial stuff, like I'm going to get out of debt or whatever. And those are the two things that people concentrate on. And those are good. I'm never gonna say oh no, don't worry about going to the gym or anything. But I think we tend to neglect kind of the wider picture. So mental, emotional health, how have you been feeling? And are you exposing yourself to big ideas? And are you growing that way? Or your spiritual health, are you feeling connected into something bigger than yourself? Or your career, your vocational health, are you growing in that way? Are you feeling engaged and excited about getting up and going to work every day? And your environmental health, your community, right? So that can be both are you composting, right? Your actual local environment, and then the health of the community overall. How are you contributing to Aurora? what are you doing? Are you involved here? Are you building towards something? So
Marissa says, I have an easy resolution for you. Spend your money locally. Nice one.
All right, yeah.
Boro, good morning to you as well. Gloria Gerardo says, good morning to you, Aurora. Hope you have a nice day today and stay safe out there, okay? Happy New Year, okay? Amen. Thank you very much, Gloria Gerardo. You make us happy every day when you tune in.
For real. So when it comes to resolutions, I think the trap that we just fall into is feeling I'm going to do this and it's going to make me this better person, right? Overall. And it's never any one thing. There's no resolution that if you keep it this year is going to make you more worthy of love. There's no resolution that's going to make life less uncertain and less crazy. There's nothing you can do to have a better sense of control over, oh my God, this whole flippin' world, and how crazy it is.
Yes, there is. You can tune into Good Morning Aurora. You can do that.
And you will be informed and you will be engaged, but you will not have any more control over what the rest of the world is doing.
We can't align the planets.
Right.
We can't make it rain yet. We can't make it stop raining.
Well, we
Cheryl
can make
Brownell
it rain
says-
instead of snow. 'Cause,
Right.
You know.
Cheryl Brownell says just a
go
word
drive
that I
the
can connect
car.
with to help her improve consistency.
Yeah. A lot of people do a word of the year for New Year's instead of doing a resolution, like resolutions. They have kind of one word that they use to sort of like center themselves. Or
What's
to
yours
come
gonna
back
be?
to. I don't know. I haven't sat down and thought about my 2022 word yet. But one year I did invitation, and that was a really great.
Monica, what's your word
what's
of
your
the year
word?
going to be?
We don't. Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
homework for the Good Morning Aurora.
6 hours.
Yeah, homework for the Good Morning Aurora crew and listenership. Your word of the year. So yeah, one year I did invitation, and what was great about invitation was it was kind of this reminder, like in our social lives, to like when someone's like, "Hey, do you want to go do this crazy thing?" To be like, "Yeah, sure." Like it's accepting, but also giving, right? Because sometimes, and I think this is really important in our modern era, where we are so like. We are so prone, tell me if this is you, right? Do you sit at home and think like, I am bored and lonely and would like to go out, and I have 800 followers on my Facebook, and I have hundreds of people in my phone, and I don't have one person that I feel like I can just call up on a Friday night and be like, hey, you want to go get a drink, right? Like, or you have a limited number of those people, right? And they're busy or whatever. So being a person of invitation is just like, I'm just going to pick up the phone, and this random person who I think is cool, but we've never actually really hung out outside of a work context, I'm just going to call them and be like, do you want to go get a drink? And like most of the time, people will say yes. They're just at home waiting themselves. So I did a year of invitation, and that was really good. So yeah, picking a word.
Karina Suarez Darden,
good.
good morning to you as well. Happy New Year to all my amazing people. Shouts out to you, definitely. Saul, good morning to you as well, dear sir. Yeah, I don't have any. Don't really make I really don't do that. But
We can do it. I think we should do it. I like Cheryl's word, consistency. That's a good one. I really struggle with consistency.
You do.
I do struggle with consistency. I'm like great with like, here's a project and a whole lot of great ideas, and if I could hand that off to someone else and they do it, even better. But when it comes to like I'm gonna do this every day, like no.
This year I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more like responsive to people and because the thing is that not everybody is built like we're built, and that's the thing that's been difficult for me in life, because like I gotta
is it a meeting people where they're at kind of vibe?
I'm gonna do not a lot of it, but I'm going to pick up that book, and I'm going to open.
You can peek inside
I'm
the book of a person.
I'm gonna try to get past the preamble. That's the word of the day. Preamble. Preamble is the word of the day. I'm gonna try to get, and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do my best to meet people where they're at.
That's a good resolution.
Thank you very much.
I like
Tammy Helfrich would be a great guest for the new year. Her book,
Tammy
Unapologetic,
Helfrich
is
would
fantastic.
be an
Thank you very
amazing
much.
Guest. I've taken coaching sessions with Tammy Helfrich, and she's great.
Tammy Helfrich is
out. We can
representative
have her
of
on.
Society 57. Shouts out to her and all the great stuff they've done, including Art and Market Aurora, which has already ended, but it will be back around next year. Many things are coming back next year, including the Farmers Market. That'll be back. First Fridays will return in February, I believe, as
February 4th.
well. And I want to give a shout out right now to the staff of Aurora Downtown for all the great work that they've done over the year. I have to say, in the entire world, there are only two organizations that work as hard as Good Morning Aurora. One is Aurora Downtown, the other is the United Nations. And I'm ready for good things, and I'm happy that we're here. What? Y'all know I was a comedian?
Agreed.
This tie got me feeling some kind of way today.
Agree. Yeah, I
Okay.
can see that. It's like us and like who is even who's in charge of the UN? Who's the Secretary General right now? I haven't paid attention since Ban Ki-moon.
That's a good question.
I got
Who is
it.
the second? Oh, he's from. He's your boy from. He grew up in. He's
Who's got this
Ethiopian dude.
information? Ethiopian.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Was the governor's electric expansion part of those 50 laws you were going through from Phil Millies? You know, I didn't see that. There is, I know we've got some like
Phil Millies, good morning.
incentives and things coming through, but that's a great question, Phil. I'll find out and get back to you.
Oh, we got the laws right here. What was it?
We do. Electric expansion. And
Let's
I feel
see.
like yes, but I also don't remember. Oh, you know what is on the 50 laws? June 19th is going to be a paid state holiday now, so happy Juneteenth to everybody. No word on if I'm getting that day off.
It's a good question, Phil Millies. We don't have it
We're gonna
here.
get back to you on the electrical.
I'll tell you what. Tune into our
expansion.
press conference that we got Monday morning. Monday
do it
morning's
there.
press conference. We will address
We'll do it there.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So the time is now 9:00 in the morning. It's time to wrap.
We're wrapping
this
it up.
What a year. What a year. All right.
You got final thoughts?
I do. Girl, how you know I have some final thoughts? Oh, but I'm not going to give my final thoughts just yet.
Okay.
What I'd like to do is, Monica, what are your final thoughts?
Oh my gosh.
I'm like putting you on
Well,
the spot.
I want to thank everyone for listening and always tuning in and always being very supportive of Good Morning and Buenos Dias, Aurora. And I'm very happy to be part of this team.
Oh, thank you. Don't even put the button. No, we can do that. Yeah. Oh, that feels good.
Interns are the best.
All right.
My
What are your
favorite.
final thoughts?
Aside from interns being just the best ever. This has been like a highlight of 2021 for me. I basically started at the beginning of this year with our Friday gig, and really it's kept me very connected to the community, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here. And also on a personal note, so my entire life, I was basically, people were like, oh my God, you're so loud, stop talking. And now I have a place where I am constantly encouraged to be loud and keep talking. And that has just been, on an emotional level, like deeply meaningful to me. So thank you for that. Good Morning Aurora listeners. Appreciate you.
All right. Electric vehicles and such. All right.
We can
Homework.
find it.
Philip Millies.
We're
Good
finding
looking
it.
out, baby. We'll get that
Find it.
information. If anyone is looking for something to do without a crowd, check out Public Art downtown. There's a new art tip off Art Street Mall. I saw that this morning. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Have a great and safe celebration. Welcome in 2022.
Thanks,
okay.
Marissa.
Thank you, Saul. All right. I'll say this, and we will wrap this the heck up.
Yeah, way to buy yourself time by putting us on the spot first.
Right?
We see
Come
through
on,
you.
girls. Trust me, nothing just happens. That's it. I'll say this. Thank you very much to everybody who tunes into the show, everybody who shares the stuff we're doing. Thank you very much to all of our listeners, all of our fans, and our subscribers. And thank you to everybody who just contributes, because the contributions are not just, it's not even just like a watch, it's a like, it's the heart button, it's all that kind of stuff.
Subscribing on YouTube.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And I also want to tell you guys that just reiterate with the emails, buenosdiasaurora@gmail.com excuse me, and goodmorningaurora@gmail.com as well. Send us anything. Philip Millies, he's a personal friend of the show. He hit the Instagram DMs. I sat next to him and his son at the Italia Circus show when it was at the outlet mall. So seriously, I don't say that just to be just in jest. Like, we are you and you are us. So we appreciate you guys, and we're gonna show you a whole lot more in 2022. Also, check out the videos that we do with the press conferences, because those are going to continue during the week and into the new year, and those will consistently get better, and we will consistently give you all of that real live Aurora news. That's what we're going to do, and I really appreciate you guys. We have a lot more to show you in 2022. So follow Buenos Dias Aurora, follow Good Morning Aurora, and get ready to follow something brand new. That's it.
That's it.
Take care of yourself and each other.
Adios, Aurora.